Hello, my name is Jess. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna share with you why breathing or learning how to breathe in certain ways can be so incredibly valuable to you and how you manage stress and anxiety and feelings of overwhelm or just how it can help you feel more resilient in your life. Your breath is the direct mediator between you and your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest side of the nervous system. So it's not as simple as just being in your rest and digest or being in your stress response. We can be in a blend of both, and it's a little bit more complex than that. But just know that you can be in a blend of both, even when you're feeling your stress response slightly. Let's say you were playing sport or playing tennis or something like that, and you want to tune into moments of feeling calm and grounded. Or even when you're in the office and you have a big meeting coming up or an interview and you're feeling that slight, maybe excited feeling or slight fearful feeling, you might use your breath then to help you ground and find a sense of calm. So when we know how to use our breath, we know we can find greater balance within our nervous system. So your inhale breath is linked to your sympathetic nervous system, your stress response or your mobilization. We need our stress response. It's very important. We don't want to live without it. It gets us active. It literally mobilizes us. It gets us out of bed in the morning. It helps us cope with stresses throughout our day. It is also a warning signal if there are some big stresses that are happening right in front of us. So the inhale is linked to the sympathetic nervous system and the exhale is linked to our parasympathetic nervous system. Our parasympathetic nervous system dials up perhaps when we are reading a book or watching a comedy or sunbathing or relaxing in some shape or form. So how can we use the breath to bring greater balance to our nervous system? If you think about when you are feeling stressed and triggered in your life, your inhale becomes very shallow and short. It's the thing that gets more exaggerated. Like you're holding your breath maybe a bit more, you're inhaling a little bit more, like that slight sort of hyperventilating feeling. Your inhale is a little bit erratic and your exhale is probably quite short. Your breath is very much in the chest because of that. When you're relaxed and in a place that is not stressful, your breath will reflect that. You're most likely to have a slower and deeper and longer breath. So you can feel now, if you take an inhale, you can feel the inhale is quite stimulating. And if you exhale, purse the lips and blow the exhale out the mouth, you can feel there's a slight letting go in the exhale. Inhale is stimulating, exhale, there's that letting go. So to bring balance back to our nervous system, we want to start to accentuate that exhale. We also, though, want to breathe the inhale in the correct way. So if you're in your stress, or if you're feeling stressed, like in the moment, you're feeling triggered, something's happened, the breath becomes short and shallow and sort of quite sharp, like, that short, shallow, sharp kind of feeling. When you're consciously breathing, you can consciously direct yourself to take slow, low, and long breaths. This is my motto. So when we are breathing right into the lower lobes of our lungs, we are communicating to the body that we are safe. And this is where more of the air sacs are that's going to take the oxygen into every single cell of the body. That's going to start to get it from the lungs out into the rest of the body. When we're breathing up into the chest, we are not breathing with such efficiency in terms of oxygenating the body. So when we are breathing low into the lower lobes of the lungs, not only, well, one of the reasons why we are communicating to the body that we are safe is because the diaphragm, which is a muscle that goes around the circumference of your rib cage, lifts, it gets flattened. It gets flattened as you inhale, which causes the lower ribs to expand. So you can feel if you bring your hands around your lower ribs and then take an inhale down into the lower lobes of the lungs, you will feel your lower ribs widening. The lower ribs are widening as you inhale. So this is your diaphragm flattening. And as you exhale, the air leaves the lungs and the diaphragm lifts. So as you inhale, so the diaphragm is like this, and as you inhale, the diaphragm flattens. And as you exhale, the diaphragm lifts as the air comes out the lungs. Inhale, diaphragm flattens. Exhale, diaphragm lifts. So when you are shallow breathing, this is not happening. You're breathing just in the chest and the diaphragm's not really moving. And the reason why it is important for the diaphragm to move is because there is a nerve called the vagus nerve, which is the largest nerve in the body and starts at the base of the spine and goes around your eyes and your mouth and down your neck and in your ears, through every single major organ of the body, through the lungs, and it ends in the stomach. And this nerve is the mediator of the parasympathetic nervous system. So when you are inhaling or when you are doing diaphragmatic breathing and you are inhaling, the diaphragm flattens, and this is literally massaging the vagus nerve. And in turn, so when we are stimulating the vagus nerve, then this will dial up the parasympathetic nervous system. So this is such a powerful tool to have up your sleeve, as immediately, within a matter of minutes, you can start to bring greater balance back to your nervous system. Now, I know that feeling when you're feeling overwhelmed or stressed and it is hard to breathe, like it feels hard to breathe, and I get it. And sometimes we might need to do something else, like maybe some star jumps or some shaking or some dancing or chatting to a friend. Like sometimes you might need something else and then to breathe. I suggest to listen to a guided breath practice, because then you are focusing on words. You are following a breath practice, which is going to slow the thoughts in your mind because you're having to apply concentration and doing the breath practice. Both will really help you to drop out of that stressed out place or whatever place you're in and into a more calm and balanced state. So now you understand the why breathing is so important and how to do it. Go and apply it. Find a recording that you really like, a 5-minute breath practice you can do in the moment, and also one that you can do daily. And the reason why it's important to do it daily is because you are increasing vagal tone. You are increasing vagal tone, which then increases your ability to be in the parasympathetic nervous system, or to be less in your stress response. And the thing with our stress response, we are designed to be in our stress response. We are designed to move in and out of it. That is healthy. What's not healthy is when we stay in it. And the thing with our doing lives, our lives are very busy, including myself, and I feel this in myself. Our lives are very busy. We have a lot going on. We have a lot of responsibility. So we are holding space for a lot, and that can cause us to feel quite triggered, feel quite stimulated, like we're quite frazzled. When we come to the end of the day, we feel quite frazzled. The breath is going to help bring everything back into greater balance and greater coherency.